Good afternoon, boys and girls, and welcome back to Adventures of the Broken Retard. As many of you are aware, I ran into my first technical glitch this morning, whatever it was. I was in the middle of filming or recording the Culture Shock, the two parts of Culture Shock, and I decided to go ahead and record a third because I had remembered some stuff. So I decided to go ahead and record a third. And it got about 4 or 5 minutes into the third episode, and then the telephone, I'm doing this on my phone, the telephone just quit recording. It just stopped recording. And let me tell you what's funny about that. So the telephone stops recording, and there's a big square that comes in the middle of the screen. You know, your memory is full or whatever it was. And so I kept on talking to it as if I was speaking with y'all, letting y'all know what was going on. And that was so stupid because it said right there that it wasn't recording. So I guess it's just a mistake on my part. But anyhow, I'm having a little bit of trouble now recalling. Oh, I went and got the phone fixed. First of all, I got the phone here at my desk, and it said the memory was full or whatever, or the video was too big or something. I remember what it said. And so I went through and deleted a bunch of pictures, and that didn't work. So I deleted a bunch of more pictures and some videos. In fact, every video that I've done and downloaded to my computer is no longer in my telephone because I deleted them all. And then I tried doing some other stuff, and every time I tried doing the recording thing, after 4 or 5 minutes, it would stop. And then it got to the point to where it was just a few seconds and it would stop. The video that I put out, the one, I don't know how long it is. It's real short. In fact, I think it is a short, actually. So I recorded it the other way, so it'd be a short. That one that I sent out, right as I finished talking, right when I finished talking, that square came on the screen and cut it out. And that was only, I think it was around 40 seconds. I don't remember now. But either way, it cut it out. And I tried going through the phone, and I really needed to get back out to Livingston to work on the house out there. And I gotta have my phone working right. So I jumped in the truck, I headed down. I figured I'd go to the AT&T store first, get the phone fixed, and then go out to Livingston. So I went down to the AT&T store and waited my turn. And, there was a woman working there. And when I walked in the door, she said, "Hey, Don, nice to see you. I'll be with you in just a minute." And I recognized her from being at the store, but I never would have thought about that. Of course, my shirt also says, "Call Don," so maybe that's how she knew my name. But when we got together to talk about fixing my phone, she said, "It's been 4 years since I worked here." So she remembered me from 4 years ago, which I thought was really good. And 4 years ago, I was about 70 pounds lighter, didn't have a beard, and always wore a hat. Always wore. I took a shower, I had a hat on. So I thought it was really nice of her to remember. And she started going through my phone and looking at stuff and da-da-da-da, and speaking a language I don't understand. And she couldn't make it work, so she went over and got her manager, and her manager started. I've had that phone for probably a couple of months. Is this phone, not that phone, this phone. Probably for just a couple of months, I think I've had it. And so they were, it's a new phone. It's not like, your phone is outdated or obsolete or whatever. So anyway, they couldn't figure it out. They said, "Well, you're going to have to go to the Apple store. We think it's a glitch with the software. You're going to need to go to the Apple store." I said, "Well, that's fine. Where's the Apple store?" "It's at the mall." Now, I'm not going to say which mall it was because I don't want to get in trouble. But this particular mall, first of all, look at me. I don't look like much of a mall guy, right? I'm not the typical person you see it. I hate malls. I cannot stand going to a mall. I'll go to a specialty shop where I can park in front, walk in, get what I want, and walk out. At the mall, they've got a parking lot the size of Rhode Island, and you typically have to park somewhere in Massachusetts to be able to walk across the 300-degree asphalt, shadeless asphalt, to get into a building overcrowded with unruly young people. The driving, the traffic, everything is just horrible about it. So I've jumped in the truck and went over there, and I never go, so I don't know where any stores in there are. So when I pulled in, I just pulled in the parking lot and found a spot to park so that I could get out the map on my phone, see if I could figure out where the Apple store was. And lo and behold, the gods did shine on me, because I couldn't have parked closer to the Apple store than I did. That worked out exceptionally well. Didn't know it until I got out of the truck and started walking, and I walked as far as I could, and I needed to sit down and take a break, so I sat down, took a break, got my phone out, looked at it to see where it was. And I'm sitting there looking at my phone, and I bring my eyes up and look around, and 10 feet from me, right over there, is the Apple store. So went in, introduced myself to the person who introduces themselves, and gets you on the list, the appointment schedule. Then I went and stand around waiting for the people who give the appointments, who didn't seem to ever come around to me. It was a bit frustrating to see a whole bunch of other people getting served before you do, and you've been sitting there, but it is what it is. I'm not the kind of guy who complains about stuff like that. I did ask to see if my name was on the list, and they said, yeah, your name's on the list, don't worry about it. Evidently, there's one person who greets you at the door and puts you on the appointment list, and then they tell you to go sit down over there, and then there's people who wait on you depending on specifically what you're there for. I'm going to pause it just for a second. The throat clearing is so much better with the pause button on. Anyway, so I just had to wait my turn. So I start talking to the lady, let her know exactly all what's going on, and they start trying to fix my phone, and they can't fix my phone. So we ended up having to download or take the software out and download new stuff. I don't know, okay? As far as I'm concerned, the difference between hardware and software is a spaghetti noodle that's cooked and one that's not, right? That's hardware, software. But they got it fixed, they got it going, and I didn't get charged for it, which is extra cool because, I mean, I pay a lot of money monthly for the phone, but I guess Apple comes with it. I don't know. I don't know how that works. All I know is they fixed my phone. They did it with a smile on their face. I was real happy about it. I had to drive to the mall, which was a huge pain in the butt, but it is what it is. Maybe I'll never have to go there again if I get lucky enough. And it all went well, so I came back and I started answering comments, because I like answering the comments. I think it's important to do so. So I came back, started answering comments, and there was some questions about, or some advice being given about what to do about my phone, but I've already got it fixed. But one of the things about the phone that I was really happy about is that I couldn't fix it. I couldn't make the memory clear up, which, you know, it always makes you feel stupid. But the AT&T store people couldn't fix it either. And the people at the Apple store were stumped for a little while and ended up coming to the conclusion that they needed to replace the software. So I don't feel so bad about not being able to fix it myself. You know, I had the right idea. Of course, I can't replace the software. I would doubt that's physically possible for me to do. I don't know, I've never tried to do it, but where would I get the software from? So, you know, what are you gonna do about that? But anyhow, so it's working. Everything's up and running again. I'm gonna get back to when I started this video. I almost started by restarting the what did I call it? Either way, what I call it. I can't believe that. I'm drawing a total blank. Ain't that something? Culture shock. I almost restarted the Culture Shock video instead of doing this one, which would have been a mistake. I want to continue the Culture Shock video because I in the interim of all this, I remembered some other stuff that I wanted to talk about, but got sidetracked some kind of way doing part 2 and just totally forgot to include this stuff in it. So the culture shock that I experienced when I came to Louisiana was huge. And of course, being a young kid, I mean, I just didn't know any better. There's so many things that no one had ever told me about. And being raised basically being raised in Mayberry, there was no way for me to find out about that stuff. I didn't know, nobody told me. All right, boys and girls, thank you so much. I'm going to post this video tonight. I'll probably do the other one, the Culture Shock Part 3 too. Well, I don't know. It's 4:30. I got to get dinner going. Anyhow, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for your subscriptions. This is Don Wiseman with the Adventures of the Broken Retired. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell so you know when new videos come out. Thank you so much. And look at here. So I'm using my new camera stand, and watch what it has. It has a remote for the camera that doesn't work.